But this whole idea of artificial intelligence and technology, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with that word entropy. What this other force, this virus you're talking about, seeks to do, one of the manifestations is to break down complexity into its most basic energetic elements. That's what they're doing with the geoengineering and destroying the atmosphere. They're doing it to water. They're doing it through genetic modification. And now this technological is the ultimate affront to anything natural. They're breaking it down, and now to invade the human body, to break us down. That entropic process, I encourage anyone to look that word up and look up the concept, but it's very much what they're doing. And this is how they create energy, by breaking down complexity. And this is what they're feeding off of. The way you describe it, I think, is brilliant. This fear virus that feeds off itself, generates it, creates it in order to feed for more. I think that's a very apt explanation.
Well, the thing about decay is interesting because decay and death, they all have a frequency. They all have an energetic expression. And they are also within the frequency absorption range of this self-aware virus. And thus, if you look at Satanism and such like, they are obsessed with death. It's all about death because it's an energy, and it's an energy that they can feed off. And so is decay. You know, when people say, and it's another, understandable question, why would these people destroy the earth that they have to live on? Well, how about these people do not need the earth and the earth energetic environment, the earth atmosphere that humans do. Therefore, they're not actually destroying the earth they have to live on. They are changing the nature of our reality so it suits them. That's what's happening.
Exactly.
And this is massively part of what geoengineering is about, and certainly it is part of the incredible increase in atmospheric radiation in the last 50 years caused by technological means and nuclear, well, in terms of Fukushima, non-accident, I would strongly suggest. And so what I would say is happening is they are preparing the new human that would be able to survive through mutation in this new environment, to continue to be the slaves. But they don't need anything like as many, not least because the more the machines come in, the less labor they need the slaves for.
Exactly.
And this is where you get your your global population cull theme from. And this again comes back to why 2016, 17, 18 and immediately beyond are so important, because it's no accident. Well, first of all, they're important because this is moving on, and it'll get to a certain point where it'd be much more difficult to turn it back, to say the least. But one of the great themes about this force, which is given different names in different cultures, is that it's terrified of humans becoming what humans can be.
That's right.
Because what we're looking at is not an all-powerful force controlling a subservient, less than powerful human race. We're looking at the equivalent of, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. The virus is the one-eyed man. What they've done, and the virus in all its expressions in form has done, is to make humans blind compared with its one eye.
That's right.
Ironically, one eye, given that's one of the major symbols of this network. And thus, when we become conscious beyond the program they have instigated, then we become the two-eyed, three-eyed, third-eyed man and woman, far more powerful than that which is currently controlling us. As I've been saying over the years, the focus is not on holding us in a fraction of our awareness because it's good for a laugh and a bit of fun. It's absolutely essential and foundation to everything that's happening. Mm-hmm. An awakened humanity cannot be controlled in this way. It cannot be, because it can see through it immediately, and it has the power and thus the self-power to respond to the challenge in the way that each person is best equipped to respond, and we bring an end to it. So the next 3 years, 4 years are going to be vital, because the question is, how many are going to awaken and see it? And every time someone awakens and starts to come from an expanded state of awareness, and of course it's not a 0 to 90 and that's it. It's a constant continuing expansion once the process has started. You start to broadcast a different frequency.
Exactly.
Frequency then starts to break down the density of the virus frequency, the fear frequency, and everything starts to move. And everything starts to become more malleable, more etheric instead of concrete-like. And thus everything starts to change, and the virus kind of loses its control. So this is where we are. I mean, it's not about believing in a God or believing in a religion. That's not what I'm talking about, and people like us don't talk about in terms of spirituality. It's expanded awareness into the infinite, all that is, has been, and ever can be, all possibility, all potential, which is there for anyone to do. And it's not a case of having to seek an expanded awareness. It's not. We are already expanded awareness.
That's right.
What we need to do is dismantle the walls, and in computer terms, very appropriate, the firewalls of belief and programmed perception that are holding us from accessing what we truly always are, have been, and ever can be. That's the revolution. And there's not a gun in sight. There's not a bullet in sight, because they're not necessary. You start fighting violence with violence, you are consumed by the virus while thinking you're fighting the foe.
That's right.
And so, when people say, what are the solutions? We are the solution by becoming what we are and ceasing to be what we've been programmed to think we are.